If you were given a choice between God or the world, who are you going to choose to serve? Well, you can't choose both, because if you look at Matthew 6:24, we have, no one can serve two masters. Either you will hate the one and love the other, or you will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money, and I think that's an example of that. So, to break this down, the reason that I came to do this verse today, it's crazy, but we were talking earlier about how the eye works with vision. So like, you can only focus on one thing at a time and the rest around you is blurry. So it gave me this idea of relating it to our spiritual lives and stuff. So think of it this way. You can't do both at the same time. It's gonna be like, let's say I wanna focus on this tablet in front of me. It's totally clear and I'm focusing on just the tablet. The rest around me is all blurry. But if I look past the tablet to focus on something else, the tablet becomes blurry and the rest is clear. And I'm focusing on that now. So it made me think of how when we have to choose between one or the other to focus on. And I think that could be related to how when we focus on God or not, or on something else. So, and it made me think of this verse about no one can serve two masters. Either you will hate one and love the other, or you will be devoted to the one and despise the other. And you can't serve both God and whatever it is that you love. So, for example, if you love God, you're not going to love everything bad in this world, because that is not of God. God is not of this world. Like, yeah, he created us, but we messed it up and the devil came and messed things up, and now it's not what it was intended to be. So we cannot serve and love both God and the world. We're going to choose God over the world if we're going to choose him, or are you going to choose the world over God? And I think that's like with the focusing thing. Like, are you going to focus on God, choose him and serve him? Are you going to focus on the other things around you? That's something that you love really much, you know? Like, this verse says you cannot serve both God and money. So they use money, for example, but it could also be with anything, really. God has to come first if you're going to serve him. If not, if you're not serving God first, keeping him first, then you're trying to go to something else, then that's not going to work for both things at a time. You got to pick. So another thing that I thought of with the focusing thing, with the vision, was that when we focus on this, for example, I'm focusing on the tablet. When I focus on this, I can see it clearly. And everything around me is blurry, but my focus is the tablet, and that's what I want to focus on. That's what I need to focus on. Okay. But if I take my eyes off of it and I focus on something past it, the tablet is no longer clear to me and it gets blurred in with my other stuff. So I wanted to relate that also to when we focus on God. Everything around us is blurry, and that is okay though, because God is our focus and that's how it should be. The world and your life could be going a mess and stuff, but if we are focusing on God and he is clear right in front of us, our path, our journey is like, okay, my life's a mess, but Jesus, you're still the focus and I'm going to keep you my focus. But then, and that's good, but then what if you like take your eyes off God for a second and you're no longer focusing fully on him and you're going to these other things, trying to focus on all this other stuff that's not Jesus? And that's when Jesus starts becoming blurry, and Jesus is like over to the side over here. Like, let's say I'm focusing on, like, I take my eyes off of, let's compare this tablet. Okay, this is going to be our Jesus representation. So focus on Jesus. You want to focus on Jesus. But then, let's say we start getting caught up. We start trying to want to look at what these other options in the world that we can serve are. Okay, and it's enticing. Okay, Jesus, I'm taking him down right here. And then all of a sudden I'm focusing on these other things. Oh, there's money. Oh, there's lust. Oh, there's lying. Oh, there's all these things that are going to help me in life. Sorry. And then Jesus is right here, and Jesus is blurry now. I'm not fully seeing him, not focusing on him anymore. And then the more that I get intrigued by these things in the world, these temptations, the farther Jesus is getting away from my focus. And see, that is not what we need to happen. We need to focus on Jesus. And the good thing is that even when this happens and you fall into the temptation of the world, or the enemy is tempting you, Jesus can still be brought back into your focus. But you have to choose just him if you want him clearly your focus in life again. If you want your life to be clearly focused on Jesus again, you can still bring him back, because that's the point, is God is forgiving. And if you're truly sorry for falling into this worldly trap, then Jesus is going to understand, because he knows that we're human, and if you're truly sorry, then he will accept you back and you can get Jesus back in your focus. So that's where we want our focus to be. Not on the world, not on any of these temptations, not even on like what we want. Jesus has to come first. So your focus can only be on one. Who are you choosing?